Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Melanie from Melanie Tries Recipes, and today we are doing something a little bit different. Um, as you all know, I had a giant ham at my house for Easter dinner, and trimming all the fat off instead of throwing it away, I just kind of tossed it in the freezer for a minute. And I finally decided to pull it out and do what I wanted to do with it, and that is to render it down into some oil. Now, this oil is excellent for multiple different uses, such as like if you're going to um, fry some eggs and you want to add a little extra flavor to it, you just use some of this rendered ham fat oil, and that will help the flavoring of it. Or if you're making soup, you can use this rendered ham fat oil to um like help it out or whatever, or like frying up your vegetables, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what you do with oil. You could use this instead of olive oil, use this oil. You know what I mean? I mean, it ends up you had to store it in the refrigerator, and it gets really hard, and you gotta gotta kind of scrape it out or whatever, but still you could use it just in place of any time you're going to use any kind of oil. So what you do is you just, cut it up into bits, and that's what you see me doing. That's what I was doing a minute ago. Um, and this is really kind of an all day long process because you have to keep your heat on really low and just let the oil ooze out of the membranes, or whatever, however you want to put it. I don't know the technical terms or the scientific reasons why it happens, or whatever. All I know that is that you can do it. It tastes really good, and at the end of this process, you will have some little bits and pieces, and that taste like fried up bacon pieces. So, and that's the awesomest part of it. So anyways, cut it all up like this. Try not to overcrowd your pan unless you specifically, like me, want a lot of the little extra fried up bits. And that's kind of what I wanted, is a bunch of extra fried up bits. So I did purposely overcrowd my pan. It did make it take a little bit longer, but I didn't have nothing better to do except for record this video and do this. So there you go. So anyways, I'm just going to keep on doing this process. You see there's still some little bits of ham left on the fat, so that's really good. That helps it out, me getting my little extra pieces like I had said. And there we go. That's officially my overcrowded pan. And this is after like a half an hour of it cooking. You see there's some of the oil releasing, fluid releasing, and stuff like that. Got to keep on cooking it, stir it up a little bit, come back to it an hour later, and this is what it's looking like. Stir it up a little bit, and then come back to it again like an hour later, stir it up a little bit, see how it's looking. There's quite a bit of oil down there. And you can see this is just about done. I'm going to go ahead and remove my little bits out of there and take that oil and put it into a glass jar that I'm going to store in my refrigerator. I started off putting it into a quart-sized jar because I wasn't sure how much oil I was going to end up with. I knew it wasn't going to be like a whole quart-sized jar worth, but I didn't want to have too small of a jar. So here we go, pouring it in there. And there we go. See how much I have in that jar so far. We're going to put all this back in the pan. We're going to render that down a little bit more, and then on a little bit higher of a heat, because I'm mostly just trying to fry up these last little bits of pieces, and then I'm going to keep the oil from that and put it into the jar. You see here I switched over to a pint-sized jar, and the amount of I think I had like 2 pounds of ham fat that I rendered down, and I ended up with a whole pint jar of oil to be able to use. And there it is. I pulled it out of the refrigerator. That's what it looks like. It's all solidified and everything. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe.